If you actually look at the leaf of an aloe vera plant, and you can see here on the bottom on the right hand side, it shows a complete leaf and a little tiny section that we've taken out of it. And it's important to know where the actual different nutrients come from in our gel. You'll see at the top there in the dark green, that is the rind. That's about 15 cells thick, and that's where all the nutrients are synthesized. They are then circulated around the plant by pericyclic tubules. That's the sap, those little yellowy dots, that's the sap, pericyclic tubules, and it uses xylem and phloem, and it basically moves the nutrients around the leaf. The rind also has a waxy coating which decreases evaporation of water from the plant as well. Below the sap layer, you'll see the yellowy colour, that's the mucilage. That's an important layer because in the mucilage you'll find the polysaccharides, and particularly the ace mannan is found in that layer. Also it's important, and again it's a unique point to us, we fillet it through that layer. So our leaves are actually filleted through the mucilage layer. That means you have some of the sap, mainly the mucilage, and then a big proportion of those lighter coloured cells there, parenchyma cells, and they're the ones which store the actual nutrients and the water, and that's often referred to as the gel fillet. So if you actually took a leaf, and on the right here you can see a leaf which has been partially filleted, and you'll notice in the centre you have this large mass of the gel fillet, the parenchyma cells. It has a shiny surface, that is the mucilage layer. And then if you look at the leaf at the top there, you can see little black dots. Those little black dots are the pericyclic tubules, and it's in those where you find the bitter aloes. In aloe itself, there are several hundred different nutrients. So far around 75 have been identified, and we class them into 10 major groupings. Now you can get quite involved with this and bogged down because you're going to start looking at all the different vitamins and minerals and other carbohydrates found in aloe, but we'll just go through them briefly. All you need to know is where to find them. So if somebody asked you a question, you know where to look to see if it's found in the aloe. These nutrients are present in very small amounts. They contribute to your daily requirement, but they're not enough if you're deficient in something. So the first one you'll see here is a lignin. It's a woody substance. It's found with the cellulose, and all it can do is help to take other nutrients down through your epidermis into your dermal layer. And it's in the dermal layer where a lot of the nutrients are needed to do their job. The saponins, great soapy cleansers for the skin. Many products you buy on the high street or on the internet these days will have saponins in them. The bitter aloes found in the sap, as I said, gives a colour and that delicious taste that you enjoy every morning. It has mild antimicrobial properties, and it's very soothing and calming, particularly when applied to the skin. So they're important points to have. Some companies remove those entirely from their product. So again, that makes us unique. You have a very, very small amount present, so you don't lose those properties. The vitamins, again, there's quite a lot of detail that you can say about these vitamins. Basically, they're split into water-soluble and fat-soluble. The difference is water-soluble ones you have to take every single day because they're not stored in the body, but the fat-soluble are stored, so you don't need those necessarily every single day. The water-soluble ones, the important ones, are the B vitamins, such as B1, which is thiamine. It helps with your brain activity. 2 is the riboflavin. 3 is the niacin. Niacin helps with hydrogen transfer. 6, 9 and 12 are important because they help to control the amount of homocysteine in your body, which can make sure that you maintain the health of your blood vessels. B12 is very important. It's also known as cyanocobalamin, and that one used to be called the animal protein factor because it was only found in animal sources of food, particularly things like liver. And if you're a vegetarian or vegan, you would need a supplement with B12. And again, I will say that these are present in very trace amounts, and so if you've got a deficiency, you would need to take supplements. Very important one there, water soluble, is vitamin C. You know, it's very important for your skin, but also your collagen, so it's involved in your bones and your tendons and your ligaments, etc., and the immune system. Then we have the fat-soluble ones. A, E, and choline. Remember that A, C, and E, ACE, A, C, and E, they are the antioxidant vitamins. Our bodies, through our metabolism and what we're exposed to in our environment, we get free radicals released, and they can damage cells. You need to mop them up, help the liver to mop them up. And to do that, the liver needs vitamins A, C, and E. Vitamin A is retinol for your eyes, vitamin E, particularly for fertility and the immune system, and choline helps with neurotransmitters like acetylcholine, which you may have heard of. It's part of the way impulses are sent down your nerves. You need acetylcholine to jump across the synapses. So you've got those vitamins, there's 10 of them all together. And then we have the minerals. Again, with these, they're present in small amounts. Calcium, of course, 90% of that's normally stored in your skeleton. It's involved in many different processes, muscle activity, your nerve impulses, even the end receptors in your hormones require calcium. Several of the others are involved with your acid-base balance of your blood and osmotic pressure in your blood. It's important to keep that stable, and those are like sodium, potassium, and calcium. You know, there's iron there, which is essential for your hemoglobin in your blood. Potassium is involved with your contraction of your heart muscles as well. Chromium is important in insulin. Magnesium, this is involved in nerves and also in your muscles. Too little and you become hyper-excitable, and you see that quite a bit in animals. Zinc for your skin, manganese for all sorts of biochemical pathways, and finally copper there, which is actually important for fertility. It's important for red blood cell formation, your skin, and particularly your hair, and in animals, wool, for example. To get crimp, which is the elasticity in wool from sheep, it needs copper. And there's big deficiencies with copper in animals, particularly with fertility. So remember again, present in small amounts. If you have a deficiency, you need to take a supplement. Other nutrients, you have the amino acids. 20 are known, and 19 of those are actually found in aloe. So there's a good content of amino acids. These are the building blocks of your proteins, so your muscles, for example, and all the cells. There are 8 essential amino acids which have to be taken every single day. 7 are found in aloe. So you can see how aloe is contributing nutrients to your daily requirement every day. Plant enzymes, they can help with digestion. Fatty acids, they're an important group because they are give you the properties of soothing, calming, and cleaning, particularly when applied to the skin. And salicylic acid, you do need to remember this one. Yes, it's important for exfoliation and cleaning off the skin of like dead cells, but people get confused with salicylic acid and aspirin. Aspirin is actually acetyl salicylic acid, which is not found in aloe vera. So aspirin is not present in aloe. It's just a natural plant form salicylic acid, which is found in many of the plants that you eat on a daily basis. So it's absolutely safe to take from that point of view. Sugars, very important group, been well studied over the years. I spent a lot of time doing trials with aloe looking at these sugars. You have simple sugars, they're called monosaccharides like glucose and fructose, but also they can be in chains called polysaccharides. And a very important one is made up of glucose and mannose, and that's acemannan. Acemannan is a well-known immunomodulator. It has actually been extracted by some companies, like the Carrington Laboratories, and made into a product called Kerasin to try to maintain the health of your immune system. Also in the sugars you have mannose phosphate, which helps with wound healing, maintaining and helping to heal wounds. The acemannan is an unusual molecule because it's small enough to be absorbed whole through your digestive system into your bloodstream, and that's called pinocytosis. You'll see that word at the bottom there. And that means the whole molecule gets into your blood. Why is that important? It's important because if you follow this little diagram here, which initially looks complicated, but it's very simple. If we start in the middle, where you see at the top in the middle you've got lymphoid tissue, and at the bottom you have thymus processing, what happens is you have white blood cells which come from your bone marrow, and you can see the picture of the bone there, and they can either be processed through the lymphoid tissue or the thymus gland. And the lymphoid tissue, which is particularly around your digestive system, if the cells go to that area, they're processed into B lymphocytes. And B lymphocytes are the ones which produce your immunoglobulins or antibodies. You're probably more familiar with that name, antibodies. So they come from the cells processed through the lymphoid tissue. If they go to the thymus, from the bone marrow, they're processed into T lymphocytes. And T lymphocytes can send messages to the B lymphocytes to produce more of the antibodies. So they're maintaining your immune system. So if we go right back to the beginning and go to the left-hand side of the slide, you'll see there's a little diagram of an aloe vera plant. So when you drink your aloe vera gel every morning, that contains the ace-mannin. And you'll see that if you follow it along, it goes into your blood and it gets actually consumed as a food, as a carbohydrate source by the T lymphocytes. That encourages them to produce little messages called cytokines, which tell the B lymphocytes to maintain your antibody levels. So by taking your gel every day, you're having this process going on, boosting your lymph cells, and therefore maintaining your immunity.